Hello everyone, welcome to United Matters channel. As I promised you that today we are really going to start coming live on a daily to really update you on the current stats, all situations at Manchester United, and obviously I'm going to be reacting to you live calls in here onto this channel, because I know very many people really want to talk a lot about United, and I've seen very many people coming out through into the comment section when I'm really doing it, like when I've really recorded a video and I premiere it, and they really come out and really have their own reservations as far as this game of football is concerned, meaning that I cannot go on and really reply you, but this time around, I'm here to really face you into this game of football. And today, obviously, we are reacting to the Erik ten Hag presser, but I've broken it into close to 4 parts. One, Anton Martial, the other, Ronaldo, the other is Rashford, and the other is Donny van Beek's return that Erik ten Hag is so much impressed about in here onto this channel. So Rokan David is my name. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, guys, lower right bottom corner, that's where you're supposed to be, and smash the subscription button. After smashing it, hit the notification bell that will enable you get notified. And if at all you want to support this channel, you see the $sign down there, you can as well smash it and really send us something through a super chat onto this channel, and I'll be so much happy when you really go ahead and really do that, because that will be another support for this channel to go on and really grow in numbers. Now today, Erik ten Hag held the presser for United against a side which goes by the names of West Ham, but obviously had lots of things to react to. Before we get into what he said about the game of West Ham, he had the following to say. He was asked about Ronaldo's chances to go on and really start in the United squad. He said, I think when you collect all the chances Ronaldo creates and the team creates for him in the last weeks that he was there, you can see that he's still capable of getting into the right positions, and I know he's capable of finishing. Yeah, he's capable of finishing, but our worry is still one. Why isn't he going ahead to go on and really be that Ronaldo we want? Because the reason as to why we are calling in for another striker at Manchester United, people calling in for Anton Martial to come in through, is because when Martial is in the team, we play better. Rashford is not clinical. And yesterday, by the way, when I was watching that game of Arsenal versus PSV, you remember that goal that Cody Gakpo scored that was really cancelled by VAR. You remember, sorry, it made me remember the chances that Rashford missed against Tottenham Hotspur, against Newcastle, against Chelsea. You get those keeper to beats, because he was released close to 5 or 6 times and he faced the goalkeeper and he couldn't really go in for that dinking effort, like dink that ball over the goalkeeper. So even when he went around the goalkeeper, he couldn't really go in for that effort, and he just went in for that Freddy effort. But for a prolific striker, after going around the goalkeeper, what he does is that he looks at the net and says, all right, let me go for an effort at goal. Maybe it will go in or not go in, but obviously he can't do that. And that shows you that Ronaldo is not yet up to the standards where we want him to be. Because if at all he was up to the standards where we want him to be, we wouldn't have been here really calling in for another striker, but we are calling in for Anton Martial to return from injury, because the team plays better without Ronaldo. And that's what Ten Hag has gone ahead also to tell the journalists. Then Erik ten Hag on if Ronaldo still needs to win his place in the starting 11 of the Premier League games. Ten Hag said, I know that some see it like that, but I don't have a Europe team, and I don't have a Premier League team. And obviously on that, he was really on point, because when you look at Ten Hag, he doesn't really, he almost plays with the same number of players in every game. Let me show you the constants. De Gea, Dalot, Lisandro Martinez, Casemiro, Eriksson, Bruno Fernandes, Antony. You get almost 7 of the players that start in the Premier League almost start every game into what we call the UEFA Europa League. And yesterday, if Sancho had put up a very brilliant display against a team which goes by the names of Chelsea, he would have started ahead of Alejandro Garnacho, but Garnacho was really a better player on the day, and obviously he really took the day, and the manager really went in for him. So the manager is telling us that he doesn't have a European team and that of the Premier League. Then Erik ten Hag on Rashford playing up front with Bruno Fernandes as the 10. He said, I think it worked well, but I think tonight or last night with Cristiano Ronaldo up front and Marcus in back, that worked very well. I was happy with that, yeah. But I believe that he won't go on and risk them to play like that in the Premier League unless we are a goal down. And I believe that at a point X, Ten Hag will go on and decide to play with a system of 4-1-3-2 with Casemiro playing a single pivot and the likes of Eriksson, Anthony, and maybe Bruno playing as the midfield three, and obviously Ronaldo and Rashford leading the line. And I was at one point when I was playing a game of Newcastle, I thought that maybe he was going to go in for that, to go in for two center forwards and one sitting midfielder. But he never went to that one. I said, "Oh, what's really wrong with him?" But obviously made that decision. But in the game of Shelf, when we are up with one goal, he needed more goals and really put in more firepower at halftime, and obviously brought in Rashford, and obviously he led the line with Cristiano Ronaldo. Obviously, you don't expect this. You don't expect us to start like this against West Ham. That's it. I think we are going to be a more different team with a different dimension altogether. Then let's talk to the man who returned after really missing out on very many games. I believe he last played, I think was last on the bench. He last played, I think, in August. By the end of August, that's when we saw Donny play for Manchester United, because I last saw him come on the game. Was it Leicester or Southampton? I think it was Leicester. He last played on the 1st of September for Manchester United. That means that for the entire September and the entire October, Donny van Beek has been away, and we've been missing him. We can all admit that we've been missing Donny van Beek. Not so, guys? I think you've also been missing Donny van Beek. Now, Erik ten Hag on Donny van Beek coming back, he said he was out for long, so I was happy to give him some minutes because you need that to get in the right form. Obviously, we need him to get in the right form. And obviously, the main reason for me being happy for Donny to be back is simple. I want Donny van Beek to be back, to go on and really compete for that position with Bruno Fernandes, because I believe, however much Bruno is doing that, but Donny van Beek has a lot of ingredients to offer to Manchester United as far as that position is concerned. I believe him playing to that position, we are going to increase on our productivity a lot more than Bruno does to the squad of Manchester United. So that's what is in my mind. I believe we can go on and really be happy for Donny van Beek's return. And obviously, I'm 100% okay for his returning. Smash the like button, comment, and share. You can as well go into the live chat and tell me what you think about things we are really discussing on. And obviously, do like Fronty. Go in, throw into your question, and I'm going to come in there and reply it, especially if at all you are really on point and really asking me about Manchester United. Then Erik ten Hag said, but Donny van Beek has to work himself back. He's not even 1 week back in training, same as Harry Maguire. So I was really happy to bring on Donny van Beek and Harry to give them minutes because we need them in the coming weeks. So I believe we are left with 5 games to play. We are going to play West Ham on the weekend, Real Sociedad. There is Aston Villa in the Premier League, then Aston Villa in what we call the Carabao Cup, then sum it up with Wolverhampton Wanderers on the 12th or 13th in there for you. So those games, we need to be having a fully full squad. And I believe that Donny van Beek is going to be so much needed in the game of Real Sociedad, because I believe he is the best person to really do those split breaking passes that break the lanes of a team which goes by names of Real Sociedad. And we want to go on and win that game by close to 2-1 or 3-1 or 4-1. Any goal cause or goal result that has 2 goals in favor of Manchester United will see us go up, provided it's a win of any nature. But Donny van Beek is really great. But for me, Harry Maguire returning, I'm really happy for his return, because we are left with only 2 central defenders, because Rafael Varane got an injury when you're playing a team which goes by the names of Chelsea, meaning that we are left with only 2 central defenders, meaning that if at all Lisandro or Lindelof got an injury, we had to go in for Tengi Mengi or opt for Scott McTominay to come and play into what we call the defense. So he is back, and let's wait and see what the manager is going to go on and really pick, whether him or Harry Maguire or Lindelof alongside Lisandro Martinez in the game of West Ham. That's what we are highly waiting to see into that game of football. But in the coming weeks, we are left with how many weeks? I think there are like 2 weeks. 2 weeks left. 5 games to play. We win all of them. I think we'll be in the top 4. We'll be in the top 4 of the Premier League because Chelsea is 4th. I think they're having 20 points. Not so. They're having 21 points, and obviously we are just 1 point behind them, meaning that if at all we win our games, I believe we have a very huge chance to go on and really be in the top 4 because Chelsea has a very big game against Arsenal. And if at all we win our games, we'll go on and really go into the World Cup break into the top 4 positions of the Premier League. Not so. I believe we can all go on and do that. Then he said the following about Donny, that when you analyze the season so far, if Donny was available, he would get his chance because he needs goals. And I know Donny is really good in the position to score goals, and he's also good in the defensive transition. So, you see a manager who knows Donny van Beek very well, and I believe we are just weeks away from seeing Donny start games for Manchester United because, first and foremost, Bruno Fernandes has played lots and lots of games for Manchester United, and the manager doesn't want to make him tired because he knows that's going to play in the World Cup. But I believe Donny is out of the World Cup, and I believe he's really going to be getting more minutes in these 5 games that we're going to play. And I bet in the last 3 games, he's really going to have 2 games that he's going to start. He's not going to start against West Ham. He's not going to start against Real Sociedad, but against Wolverhampton Wanderers and Aston Villa, those 3 games, Donny is going to start 2 of those because I know he would have convinced the manager in the game of either Sociedad or West Ham when he comes on. And you see how everyone is saying that Garnacho should start against West Ham. And that's what Erik ten Hag is all about. That's what his career has been made about, that he always comes in through and really rewards people who always go on and really perform very well. And I believe 100% in the match preview I'm going to do tomorrow morning of United versus West Ham, I believe Erik ten Hag is going to go ahead and really start a player who goes by the name of Alejandro Garnacho, because what he does off that left attacking side of the midfield, no United player offers it apart from Anton Martial. People talk about Rashford, but when was the last time you saw Rashford sit down players like Alejandro Garnacho did? When was it? When was it? When was it? So I believe it's really a much more better situation we are into as Manchester United as far as this game of football is concerned, because we are really doing better and really taking ourselves to the levels we're supposed to be on as far as this game of football is concerned. And I believe if Donny van Beek does better in a single game, then the manager is really going to go ahead and really start him. And I believe the injury did him a disservice, especially because if at all he was really there, he would have started every single game we played into the UEFA Europa League, and Bruno would have been rested. But injuries did him bad, and he has come back and only played 15 minutes in the game of Shelf. And obviously that situation that is going to be very tricky, but I know that we're going to need him because he has that one-touch passing with him. Quick passing is with him. And I believe that the day we see him in this team with Eriksen and Casemiro, we are really going to be having the best midfield ever at Manchester United. And I believe all of us will be asking for him to come in and really do the needful for a side which goes by Manchester United into the starting lineups of United. That is a man who goes by the names of Donny van de Beek in there for you. After Donny van Beek, the manager had things to say about a man who goes by the name of Anton Martial. He returned in the game of Everton. He got an injury, that is a back, and obviously they really saw him go off that field of play and he walked off. That is Anthony Martial. Now, Erik ten Hag on if Anton Martial is likely to play before the World Cup, he said, I hope, but he's making progress. He's outside, he's working there, so he's on the pitch. So we are waiting for him to step back into the team training. So Anton Martial was back, but they don't want to hurry him. And obviously the back injury is really tricky because the likes of Van Persie really had a very hard time in their career because of a back injury. If I tell you to remember very well, they really had a very hard time in their career because of the back injury. But as things stand right now, I know that Anton Martial is really going to go on and really recover and find himself to where he's supposed to be, as the manager is really fancying him to go on and really do the needful. Then he talked about on a potential Martial setback. He said yes, the setback as he fell out against Everton with his back. So we had some injuries, and it was really frustrating for us, but also for him. So, but I believe he's really returning back, and I believe that he can go on a very huge run and not get injuries again. Ten Hag said, we have seen that Martial played good in the preseason. He has already scored 3 goals. At Everton, he also had an important role with the first goal, his assist for Anthony. Obviously, it was really a very good one. And obviously, we can't really wait for him to return on the field of play to play for Manchester United. Then Ten Hag said it would be really good to have him, that is Martial, back because he can make a difference. He can score goals, but also linking up. He's really important, and the pressing from him is really good. And that is what we are missing on this guy. Erik Ten Hag has gone ahead to go on and really include everything we are missing from Anton Martial in this last tweet that he really talked about him being good at leading the press. Secondly, linking up play, playing with his back to goal, he's good. And even when he's facing goal, he's good. And he can make every player around him better. I really want to see the likes of Alejandro Garnacho play alongside Alejandro Garnacho, Anthony, and Martial playing as the front three of Manchester United, because I'm 100% sure we are really going to be so much threatful into there, because the football intelligence amongst all these three is really way up, all beyond the ordinary. It's above the average, and they can really sit down people and really cause a lot of havoc into the opponent's half. So that is Erik Ten Hag, and that's what he had to say about Anton Martial. But the good thing is that he's back and he's training, and obviously we hope for the better from him, better recovery from Anton Martial. Let him return and do the needful for the club of Manchester United. Now, on Sunday, we all know that United is going to play West Ham at Old Trafford. Very big game. I think last season we beat them. I think we beat them at Old Trafford by... Was it at Old Trafford? We beat them at their stadium by 2-1. When they came at Old Trafford, I don't remember the result, but I believe it wasn't something easy for them. But they're really looking a better side, but they're not having some good players with them. Lucas Paqueta, Gerard Bowen is a doubt, and obviously Ten Hag has the following to say about a team which goes by names of West Ham, as we're going to play it on Sunday. Ten Hag said, on Sunday, we'll compare to the last night's game. He said he was asked on how he's comparing Sunday's game to the game we played against Sheffield. He said, on Sunday, it's West Ham, a better quality team than Sheffield, and they defend even better. They are physically better, technically better, so it's going to be a tough game. Yeah, it's going to be a tough game, but I believe we can really beat West Ham. I think we can really beat West Ham and break them down, because Casemiro is really someone great into that midfield area, and him being rested yesterday and he played close to 60 minutes and was taken off the field of play, I think he's now going to be fresh for the game of West Ham. And I believe that West Ham is a more hard side than Sheffield, but they're coming to Old Trafford and we are having a better midfield, we are having a better defense, and what makes our defense better is Casemiro being the man shielding it. He's one of the best in this business, playing as central defensive midfielders. That's it. That is Casemiro for you, and he's really one of the best in the business. And obviously, he's going to shield that back for, even though Varane is away. I believe that whether Maguire or Lindelof starts, they're not going to be so much caught into positions where they are really going to get exposed. Then Ten Hag on Sunday's game against West Ham, he said, we will all have to be good on the ball, to be dynamic, especially find gaps. We are aware of that. We have to be good because West Ham have good counters. Yeah, West Ham is really going to sit back, that's known, and we are really going to be having the majority of the ball. But how do we unlock that compactness in their final third is really going to be the most important part of this game, and that's what I'm going to be waiting to see when you're really facing a team which goes by names of West Ham. Then Ten Hag on team selection, he said, I look to the opponent that we need, and now I have to focus on West Ham United for Sunday. And then we will pick a team to start, but also have a plan B, all C in the pocket to win the game. Obviously, he's having lots of plans. You saw him against Chelsea when Graham Potter went in for substitution in the 38th minute to take off Chichurela to bring on a player who goes by the names of, what's the name of that guy? Kovacic. Ten Hag also in the 50th 55th minute, he brought on Freddie to balance up the equation in the midfield because we had begun to lose the midfield battle and some intensity was needed, and really went in for intensity into that game of football. That is Erik ten Hag and his individual brilliance as far as this game of football is concerned. So as things stand, I believe we are really a better team than West Ham, and I believe we are going to break them down. Dallo on the score sheet, I saw yesterday him bringing in more crosses. I would like to see Dallo averaging close to 10 crosses in the 18 yards box area of the opponent. The same applies to Luke Shaw and Malacia. Yesterday, Malacia averaged 4. Luke Shaw averaged 4. That's not bad, but we need to increase to 10 because the likes of Trent can go for 25 in a single game. So I believe that we can do better and we can improve, because the more you really have your fullbacks really bringing in crosses, it's like another source of really creating chances for your team, meaning that out of the 10 crosses they bring in, maybe 2 can find themselves on target, because when you add the 10 coming in from the left fullback and the right fullback, that is 20. If at all you have like 4 clear-cut chances, you never know, you can get like 2 goals out of those. So I believe that we are really a better team than West Ham, and the manager is looking forward to go on and really pick his best team to go on and really destroy a team which goes by names of West Ham. Now, I'm having a man who goes by the names of Fonit Spand. Is Garnacho starting against West Ham? I believe he has to start. I believe he has to start. If there is a player that the manager has to start, it's Alejandro Garnacho. Believe me or not, if you are a manager who is really competent and not applying favoritism as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer used to do, there is no way you tell me that Alejandro Garnacho doesn't start the game of West Ham that is on Sunday, because he has proven to us that he's the best in the business we have. Even when Rashford is that side, he can't take off players like Alejandro Garnacho. That's it. That's it. So I believe he's the best we have in the business, and there is no one that can convince me that we shouldn't start him. I believe he's supposed to be started as a united left attack midfielder. That is Alejandro Garnacho, and I believe no one is really going to stop me from arguing about that. And even if Ten Hag brings in the starting 11 with Alejandro Garnacho out, I'm going to go on and call him out, because he is trying to go on and really pluck out a paper or mirror what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was so much known of at Manchester United. The best example was between Eric Bay and Harry Maguire, or Victor Lindelof. He comes in, plays very well. The next game, he's not played. You get? That is another sign of demoralizing a player. How do you motivate a player? When a player comes in like Alejandro Garnacho, plays very well, give him those minutes. Like he did when Casemiro came in through. Everyone knows that Casemiro is better than Scott McTominay. But by the time Casemiro came in through, Scott McTominay had a line of some good games. He played well against Liverpool. He played well against Southampton. He played well against Leicester City. He played well against Arsenal. You get? And then in the game of Man City, he really played badly. And obviously, he never got back his starting position. And ever since then, it has been Casemiro. So it's always good for a manager to act like that. And I'm waiting for Erik ten Hag to go on and really do the same thing he has been doing game in, game out, of really doing what we call rewarding players who perform well on the field of play. Not so. So to me, I really want to see that happen for these players of Manchester United, as we talk on a side which goes by the names of West Ham United. Then I'm having Joseph Kanu. We are going to win. Obviously, I believe a win is written all over that game for Manchester United. I believe people will say that we played on Thursday, we might be tired, but even West Ham played on Thursday. Obviously, they played with the same squad, and I believe United also played with the same squad, and we're going to get to that game of football doing the needful, and we are going to win that game of football. So thank you guys for watching again. As I've told you that on a daily, I'm going to be starting to go on and come live and talk to you guys, because it's always nice to talk to you. I really want to hear from you and you hear from me, because I really want to see you people put your questions into the live chat and I react to them. So if at all you have your question, you can as well go in the live chat, post it there, and I react to it as soon as possible. But obviously, we are playing West Ham on Sunday. The match preview is coming. Monday is coming on tomorrow morning. You're going to see it on this channel. It's going to be the first one up there. And obviously, we'll see how the day really go on and really comes on. Even I plan to do a video of United players train or do the recovery training after that shelf game at Old Trafford that we saw ourselves really win. And obviously, everyone is asking himself, Sancho or Alejandro Garnacho. Obviously, I've been telling you that it's going to be Alejandro Garnacho for me. It can't be Sancho because Sancho has been on and off and never played very well in the game of Chelsea. Alejandro Garnacho getting his chance, utilizing it very well, gets us off our seats, and obviously has to start against a side which goes by the names of West Ham. Then Joseph Kanu is telling me that Manchester United 2, West Ham 0. All right, thank you very much for watching in. And guys, thank you for being part of this video. Smash the like button, comment and share. Thank you for being that wonderful audience. And obviously, last video of the day, I'm signing out for now. See you later and good night, my mates.